Hello, everyone. We are back once again. Well, I'm back. He's not been here before. This is the View from the Booth podcast, episode 3. We've got to the third one, and I've got a very special guest alongside me. Quite like episode 2, someone who I would say he was an all-round entertainer, very much in the David Brent style. No, he's a comedian, he's a quiz show host, he's a million other things, but I knew him first as a DJ, and we have been friends for a long time. So I thought he was a very good person to come on because I know he's got a bucket load of stories and a bucket load of opinions about DJing, all of which we are going to bless you with. Che, thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me. We are all horrible people as DJs.
Well, we have, I wouldn't say we're horrible people. I would say we have moments where the horrible comes out, and we are going to touch on that. But seeing as this is now the third one, we've actually got a little bit of admin to do at the beginning of the show. Okay. We're going to be doing like proper podcast shit here now.
Oh, you get a black guy in, and then there's some janitorial work.
Mate, there's two of us.
I know.
Like, there's talent and there's behind the camera. We got it all in lock. Anyway, so this is the first podcast we've recorded since the first one has come out into the public ears. So I kind of wanted to touch a little bit on the reaction and say thank you to all of you who've been very, very kind about it. And you seem to have got where we're coming from. And Morph is awesome. There's a reason why I wanted him up front, number one. And the Chumbawamba story, the Dubai stories, you've enjoyed them all. And I have too. I've had some feedback on bits we can put into the show as well. Someone wanted me to have like a track of the week, a banger of the week, something I'm into, that kind of sound.
You're
music
good at that.
stuff. I am good at that, but I also kind of do that myself every year. Like,
that's what I always listen out for.
I have a top 50 songs of the year, which I've been doing kind of for myself, and it's just kind of grown through.
And I nick them and I use them when I'm DJing.
Everyone, but they're there to share. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's the songs I'm into and I want to share with people. Partly because I don't always get to play all the songs I like when I'm DJing. We'll come on to that also. But because of that, I'm kind of reluctant to just do it now because I'm going to do it in a big hit. So what I might do is ask my guests.
Oh, God, no.
That feels like a good one, doesn't it?
It does, but I'm the guinea pig now.
You are. So, Che, what you been into? What you been listening to? What song have you been excited to play?
You know what? And I've not DJed for a while, and I've got a wedding this weekend over in Thornton Hall, and I will not be playing this because I've seen that they've sent me a Spotify playlist. So I haven't got to do it straight off that, which I have done in a wedding. But a lot of theirs is pop punk. It's like early 2000s. And it's really good. There's a Paramore in there. There's Scotty Doesn't Know. And I'm like looking at it going, who else is in there? I'm trying to remember all the people. I'm trying to remember the list now. But it's one of those ones where I go, oh, this will be interesting.
Yeah.
The audience might not like me, but the bride and groom will.
Well, exactly. I love wedding sets like that where you get something out of the norm because it's like, a lot of the times with wedding gigs, it's not really much of a test. You are pretty much just standing there and doing
ABBA again. ABBA again.
Exactly. It's like you're not having to make as many executive decisions as normal unless
you have a...
Yeah.
I was going to say what I was listening to recently, I can't play at this wedding, is Prof, who's just done a track with Method. And it is absolutely, it's called Pack a Lunch. And I love it. I love it. It's one of those ones where you go, as a black DJ and a black person, you always go, God damn it, a white rapper who's good.
Hey, when they're good, they're good. You can't argue.
It's amazing. I've just been listening to all of his stuff.
To be honest, sometimes I don't mind that because when you're in certain bars where they don't want you to play hip hop because they feel like it brings out a certain element in people, then you need some white rappers to throw on to kind of...
Oh, Eminem. You meant Eminem. Oh, right, okay. Fair enough. He does ballady stuff as well.
Yeah. Although, I mean, he does shout a lot, Eminem, these days. This is not what
because he's old. That's what happens when you get old. You start shouting at clouds. So one of the stories that I had, and this is for a cousin of mine, I went back to Oldham to DJ. It's his son's 21st. And all of the 21-year-olds wanted incredibly heavy metal. So like Lamb of God and stuff like that.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, wow. But also, because I'm part of the family, right? Distant part of the family, but a family member nonetheless. I knew all my aunties and Grandma Geary and all those, and they all wanted ABBA. And it was in the back of a pub if anybody knows Oldham, right, there's where the cinema used to be, Hollingwood, right? There's a pub near there, and in the front there was a load of City fans watching a City game, and I'm just walking through, and everybody just like, you know, when somebody looks at you when you're setting up, and you're going, oh, this could be a bad one.
Oh yeah.
And it was in the back of a function room in a pub, and it was all right, but it was like. It was the weirdest kind of school dance ever, because on one side it was old people, and on the other side it was young people, and it was like a BBC 1970s school dance.
Oh.
But it was separated like that. And what would happen is that all the 21-year-olds would be. I was like trying to play a mid ground of sort of like everything, things that everybody likes.
Like, how long ago was this, by the way?
This is about 3-4 years, just before the pandemic, I reckon.
Because you know the Foo Fighters did that whole album with disco covers, right?
Oh yeah, it was before that.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't use that.
Because that would have been perfect.
Where were you when I needed you? There goes my hero. So what was happening is the 21-year-olds were like, I was trying to do a bit of everything, keep everybody happy for a while, and then the 21-year-olds would start coming up and going, can we have Lamb of God, and can we have the, you know, and I'd be putting on this stuff, and a lot of it I did not know as well, so I was like downloading loads of stuff and went, man, that's okay. Oh, grief, that's
took a turn.
Yeah, I've done it before, and I do like metal. I'm a big fan of metal, but like I don't know the names of everything, so it's sort of like, oh, that, right, okay. So I put that on, and you could just see all the older people just going. And my auntie Catherine is actually, she likes Sabbath and things like that. So I was trying to give a middle ground as well. But then all the 21-year-olds would go outside for a smoke, and then all the old people go, ABBA, get ABBA on now, ABBA. We want half an hour of ABBA just so we can recover. So it was just
just wildly oscillating between one and the other.
Oh, it's brilliant when you get that weird kind of. Well, I don't care what the bride and groom want. I think this is terrible. Well, they've asked for that, and they're paying for me.
So, I mean, I feel like that kind of mix of extremes does kind of characterize what I think of you in terms of the sets, mainly in terms of the places that you play. Because, like, I know you've been holding down student halls and student areas for quite some time. But like,
Daddy Burnley.
And that's because he asked them to. And he really, really shouldn't. But before that, I mean, was that your intro? Was that where you first started it? Or were you doing it back in Oldham? Were you playing those kind of clubs as like a DJ?
I was doing nothing. My career is... I do not know how I've got here, to be honest with you. It's just... I'm like a blossom in the wind. Wherever the wind blows me, I'm a heavy blossom.
I mean, I was going to say, like, we did a show a few weeks ago where Che had a load of fat jokes, which I had no idea about, which was fantastic.
You got to call me a lot of fat things.
Oh, my goodness me. But for you to come out here and call yourself Blossom, that's just, I'm just not going to let it slide.
I'm a pretty flower.
No, you're not.
I'm not. So what happened was that I was going to be a physiotherapist, and then I missed out on. I needed biology C. I got predicted grades. I was just so lazy, but I was very clever. Just throwing that out there. And I needed to get C in biology, and I missed it by 0.01% or something like that. Then I found out you could get remarked, but the lecturer just went, oh no, I'm not going to do that. No, it's too late. I went, all right. So I ended up at John Moores rather than at Liverpool doing physio, and then because I was doing sports science as my second choice. I in my third year, I went, I'm going to run for election instead. Yeah. So I was a sabbatical officer for a year at John Moores and then a year for NUS. And while I was doing that in my last year, I used to hang around the DJ booth and used to chat to Jules Ulder, who was our marketing guy at the Student Union. He was also a really good DJ. Him and Russell, I forgot what Russell's name is now. Russell used to be a massive DJ in Liverpool. He'd like massive dance DJ. But like when you look at him, you go, oh my God, he works in accountants. He's got glasses in it, but he's also a techie as well. And
look, so many of us are nerds, man.
Oh God,
for real.
Oh, geek. That's what we are.
And I love it because we find ourselves in these kind of ultra cool scenarios, and yet the nerd will always find a way to shine through.
We hide in plain sight.
But like, I'm intrigued really because like, one of the things I've kind of noticed through my years is how many times, if you're in a job that's in the world of clubbing, so you're in a bar or you're at events or something like that, and you're around a job where you see DJs a lot, people end up wanting to do that job instead. Like, if you're a bar staff, you end up wanting to be a DJ. If you're a glassy, you end up wanting to be a DJ. If you're a promoter, you kind of end up wanting to be a DJ.
Yeah, because that's where it's at. That's what happened. Is I was just hanging around Jules in the DJ box, and I kept going. I like music. I could have a go at this. So I started doing that, and then Vicky Andrews, Tricky Vicky, who DJ'd at the Student Union, she got me a job round the corner from the Philharmonic. I can't remember what it was, but it was Fab Cafe for a while and something else. And I did that, and then just started doing loads of it because I just loved playing loads of different music. I didn't know there was a style that you're supposed to adhere to. I just put on whatever I liked, and then when you want to dance to this, I play that. And it was just, I was good. That was the best way of doing it. It was just sort of like I learned the technical stuff and realised that it was dead easy. Well, it's not dead easy, but it's just sort of like
once you've got it, you've got it.
Yeah, but also most people in there are drunk.
Like, this is one of the biggest truisms, and something that I always say to DJs who are starting out, like, people don't notice when you fuck up anywhere near as much as you do.
Oh God, no! And sort of like I was always have a guy by the side of us, a mate, who go, "Can I do the lights? I'm almost the DJ," and they'd be going, "Oh look, I'm doing this with the lights and doing like that." I'm going, nobody knows. They only care when you put the strobes on and press the smoke.
Well, exactly, something that they can actually censor and feel. But other than that, no, there's really no point to it.
But yeah, it was a trial and error thing. We've all done the. Oh, I've lent on the record. Well, say not now anymore. Oh, I've lent on my USB. So that I've stopped a record a couple of times. You've pressed the wrong button and everything grinds to a halt. And it's learning that kind of thing. Learning that soul music is not great to DJ when you start out because it's only 2 minutes 15.
You've got to be on your metal. Like whenever I do that, like Motown. Whenever I go into a little Motown bit, I've got to have. That's the only time I'm mentally preparing. Like, like it's just if you play snooker, they always say you got to think 2 or 3 shots ahead. I'm kind of doing that with musically. I'm at least 2 or 3 songs ahead. When it's Motown, you got to have 4 or 5 of them shits. Because, like you say, it's just bang. It's just like 2 choruses. Damn, it's nearly over.
and then that is always the time that one of your mates turns up and wants to have a chat. Yeah. Hey, Jay, not seen you for a while. Yeah, that's great.
You see this number going down. We need to respect this number.
Oh, when I first started out as well, that was so stressful. Is seeing the counter. And I was just like going, because it goes 306, 305, 304. And then all of a sudden, 108, 107, 106, 107. Just
if you have one of those CDJs that flashes when it gets to 30 seconds to go, like whoever invented that, you're an idiot, because that doesn't help. It makes it worse.
Yeah. I'm panicking even more now.
Exactly.
I know everybody else can see that I should have something lined up, and I obviously don't.
It will is a.
This CD's got a smudge on it. Brilliant.
So yeah, you were out in the wild west of student unions, and I say that because I've been in them, and most people who've spent a lot of time in student unions will know that it can get a bit rowdy. I'm sure you've had to deal with how do you deal with it now? I mean, obviously you've got crowd control from the comedian side, and all that kind of stuff. Is that something that started from DJing, or do you think it was that stuff helped you in it?
Well, I think I did quizzes before I did the DJing, so I already had a bit of banter, and that was another reason they let me loose on there. They go, well, if you can handle it, and I'm 6'3", I was big back then.
Yeah.
So I was physically imposing. The DJ booth in John Moore's was raised as well, so there was a step up, and then they made a barrier as well because the DJs had a say. So it went, we want a barrier.
We need a barrier.
Just a wooden flap that came down that stopped people just wandering straight on. I have got a smiley face, but I look like I could kill you.
We have that in common.
It's that kind of. And also, I started to learn the different ways of, and it's a gender thing, of dealing with men and women slightly differently, is that men want to feel like they're your mate. So you go, Oh, I never lied. I never lied. If I could play it, I would play it. And if I couldn't, I'd just say, it's not that kind of night, mate. Oh, go on. It's just not. But like, if you want to find something similar.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, I can show that I'm a geek as well. And you go, yeah.
Because that's all they really want. They want the DJ to be like, I like your taste.
Yeah.
And it's almost like where they co-sign it.
Please love me.
Yes. it's so hilarious, but yeah.
And then on the women's side, there is no way of dealing with them. No, I'm only kidding. There is. But can I tell another story?
Please do.
I've got another story where women use different methods to try and get their songs. And once at the student union, I had a girl tell the person who was stood next to me, I want this song. And they said, yeah, he'll get to it in a minute. He's just DJing at the moment. But I want this song, right? And I could hear it going on because I was DJing and I could hear it going on. And then she just went, tell him I'll show him my tits if he puts the song on. And my girlfriend turned to her and went, I'm going out with him. And she went, oh. And then liked it.
Oh, and I bet that was very much like, this is my ace card. I've tried everything else. This is absolutely going to work. Except you're there with your girlfriend.
Yeah. We're not together anymore. I could have seen them.
Well, so, because you've brought up the specifics of women who try certain things.
Feminine wiles.
Feminine wiles, yes, thank you. I wanted to say that, but I didn't want to sound like I'm from the 30s, so you can do it. So, but you had your girlfriend with you. Now, I've been in relationships before where...
Have you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Where I don't tell you everything. Where this has become a problem. The whole idea of, because they've seen me out and they've seen me being a happy, jovial guy, happy to speak to everybody.
Yeah.
But they don't, and it's the line I always got was, it's not that they don't trust me, it's that they don't trust them. Which, by the way, also means you don't trust me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. But did you have any issues like that? I mean, is that why you aren't still together?
I'm just a happy idiot. I've turned Jamaican all of a sudden. I'm putting H's where they shouldn't be. I'm a happy idiot. I'm just like the life of the party kind of thing. So if I go out drinking, I'm never bothered by other people. I'm just like going, hey, you're all having a good time. Hey, and I also don't understand the flirt. So I'm oblivious to it. So sort of like they could be flashing me. I go, great. What song do you want?
No, it's funny because, like I say, if it's something that I can do for someone anyway, then I'm like you. I will generally do it if they're polite and then they're not being an idiot. Sometimes if you're being an idiot, then I have to turn you away. What I would say, because there's been some incidents in recent weeks that brought this issue of requests to the surface. So I felt like this is literally the platform I have to discuss this. Etiquette of when you are coming up to ask someone. Things I would say off the bat, right? If it looks like the DJ is in the middle of something,
yep.
Don't say anything. Don't tap them. Don't wave, and certainly don't hover over you with a drink.
Mate, and then throw your phone up as well.
Oh yeah. So pay attention. That would be my number one tip. Number two tip: remember what your parents told you. Be polite to people. And that doesn't always have to say mean please and thank you. That just doesn't mean barking orders.
Yeah.
Same
for if you're ordering a drink. Always have respect for people in the bar area.
Exactly. And I find that people who have worked in this, they do normally have this kind of ingrained in them from being on the other side. So that's good. And again, if you are okay with occasionally hearing no, but me saying if there's something else, for people who can't see, which is literally everyone else, Che is wearing a t-shirt that just says the word no on it. And I feel like he wore that on purpose because we knew we were discussing this.
I did indeed.
So is that your stance? Do you wear that pretty much every night?
Not every night, but sometimes it is nice to have a grumpy face on because you just go, I just don't want... It depends on... You can gauge sometimes the clientele where you go... Oh, you're all going to ask for stuff that it's sort of like, I'm playing soul. It's a soul night. It says soul night on the walls. It's a sort of, and have you got, and you're going, can I have the latest electro banger? And you're going, no, there's a place for that, and it's next door. And it's sort of like, I don't want to go next door though. Well, then you're stuck with this.
Well, I might all have options for you then, buddy. I'm sorry.
I always love it when they come up and they ask for. There's two ways of this screwing this up. One, they ask for something that's already on.
Yes.
They go, "Can you play such and such?" I mean this.
Yes.
Or they ask for something, go away, you play it, and then they come back going, "When are you going to play my song?" And you go, "It's this. This is the song you wanted."
Honestly, people, this is gold. Like, honestly, I really think we should be pumping this out in schools, everywhere, anywhere that people who come into
DJing 101.
Yes, because that happens literally once a week.
Oh yeah, it's just people just not paying attention. I want my song. Why is he not playing my song? My song is not on yet. Are you listening? Oh, right.
And in fairness, I do often try to if I've got one song that's a request loaded up, ready to come, I do always try to do a scan round to see if they're there now.
Oh
yeah. Because it's like you can't always rely on them because they're the ones who are drunk and
I had one near Sefton Park. It's amazing what sticks in your mind. And it's in a hotel, it's a really small room, so there's not a lot of space to dance in and stuff like that. And this woman would not, I can't remember what the song was, but it was a Christmas one, and it was a slow one.
Ooh.
And all I remember is it was just slow, and I said, it's not really I don't think it's gonna really go down that well. Oh, it wasn't a Christmas song. I think it was not Set You Free. It was one of those. Sometimes I feel like, but it was like dum dum da dum.
Oh, the long slow version.
Yeah, or something along them lines. It was one. It was one of those where you go, it's a good song and it's a dance song, but it's not gonna fit. So yeah, but play it. So I played it like a couple of minutes after she'd asked for it. And then, as it finished, she comes in just like that. We're just putting a cigarette out, and she went, "Where's my song?" I went, "Oh God, I'm going to have to explain this now." Well, I've just played it, and I'm not going to play it again. Play it again. I'm not.
No.
So we don't do. If you want it, maybe if I played it right at the beginning, I might play it right at the end. But I try not to play a song twice in a set.
I'm glad you said that. That's something I always abide by, and sometimes you've got to be harsh with people. And it's like, well, I wasn't here before. It's like, yes, but there are lots of other people who were.
Yeah. Are you staying all night? No, I was just going to wait until you played my song and then I was going to go. Oh, right. Well, fuck off then. That was always on Concert Square. On Concert Square. Play my song now. You know what? I've already played some Beyonce because it was always Beyonce. Because it was at that period where I was like, can you play Beyonce? Oh, I've just played some Beyonce, so I'm going to leave it for a bit.
Yeah,
but like play some Beyonce. I'll be honest with you, go to any of the other bars right now, especially if you want a dance remix of it. Go to any of the other bars.
Just like cock your ear to the wind, and I'm sure you can hear it somewhere. Oh, I mean, we could kind of spend all night on this subject, and I feel I'm going to have to do another specific show on this because it's that important. But you kind of bring up the idea of things where it seems a little bit extreme. And we've talked about your style being all around the needle.
Yeah.
So what would you do if you had free reign? Would you still play a bit of everything, or would you more like to... Do you like to do little specialised genre sets every now and then?
I like to... I like playing for ages. I like sort of to be playing... Because... I think in general people like a bit of everything. They just go, well, I'm a rock person, so I like Genesis and I like this, that, and the other, and the classics are this, that, and the other. And then, but like my mum and people, I think the majority of people like a bit of everything. It's just that they don't know. What we're giving you is something that you didn't know you even wanted. That's what DJs should be doing. And it really used to annoy me when I first started that there were songs that I loved that I knew just wouldn't work.
Yes.
Because nobody knew what they were. But they were bangers. It might be a hip-hop song that was pretty popular, but like hip-hop wasn't big at that point. And then I remember when I used to be able to get away with...
Wait, you've been DJ since before hip-hop was popular?
Oh, yeah. Back in the 40s when I had a wind-up gramophone. I remember once, I've got so many stories. I remember once, before the magnet shut and turned into hot water,
yeah.
I remember watching a rockabilly night, and it was brilliant. And I was just completely off the cuff. I went in and went, oh, there's a rockabilly night on downstairs. So we go down. And there was a guy, an old bloke, and they were all dressed up to the nines.
Oh, yeah.
So it was beautiful to look at. And this guy behind, he was a fat guy with glasses on, and he was so into the music, and he so loved it. So much so, he kept getting onto the dance floor during his set, because he was was him doing it all on 2 decks, 2 vinyl decks, and he kept bumping himself. So he'd go, and he'd go, oh, sorry, and he'd go back on, and they were all up for it because he would realise that they were all mates and everything. And he had to try and find the song again.
Oh my god,
it was beautiful.
I've literally never seen self-sabotage before.
Oh, it's great.
So do you have it where, like you said, you were talking about, you have to kind of self-censor yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Like in terms of songs that you love, is it more a case of you then over time try and find places to song, or do you just kind of put it?
Yeah, well, no. I think I was a massive exponent of the mashup genre, and I know some people hated it, but I remember watching too many DJs in the academy. The academy, and it was brilliant. And I went, and I already sort of got onto it, and was like going, oh, cool, I can get away with 2 songs at the same time, but also it's a great transition into something else. I don't understand why people didn't use it more.
Honestly, like that is the hidden gem of mashups, is using them as a transition.
Like, and then you can go again. There's loads of people who go, no, I'm an aficionado, and I only like this kind of music. It's like, yeah, but all this music begat other music. So when you're looking at it, there's strands of everything. And I love that. And if you're quite open to music, then you should like a little bit. If it's a song that you just find terrible, fair enough. It's like, well, I don't like this. Go sit down, have a drink. There's other stuff you can do while there's this bit, and it's like a wedding.
But I love because there are some songs that shouldn't go together, and you just think they're from 2 completely different worlds, but then you find a way to merge them, and suddenly, like, you listen to them together, and you just think, have I improved these songs? am I a musical genius? And then obviously you wake up and realize that's not the case.
Yeah.
You just found something that's funny. But that's the thing about music, is that you can blend it in ways that, like you say, that people aren't expecting, that people aren't ready for sometimes. But yeah, I'm a big fan of all that stuff.
Oh, I lost the piece of paper that I used to have. That every time I found out a set of stuff that would go together, I would write it down on a bit of paper, and then I would try that either do a mashup myself, or there would sometimes be mashups of that. And there's just so many ways you can do. Is it Love Cats with Kiss or something like that? No, Snoop Dogg. It goes Snoop Dogg and ding 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 ding. What's the slow one from Cure? Ding 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 ding.
Oh, you mean Lullaby?
That's it, Lullaby. I couldn't remember. I'm trying to remember the actual thingy, because it was that, and then Snoop Dogg. I mixed Snoop Dogg into it somehow, and it worked. And I was just like going, "Oh my god, I'm a genius!" And
there are so many out there like that I found that I just love. I think probably the most fun that I have with one is 99 Problems, 99 Red Balloons.
It's great when it matches up like that as well.
Yeah,
when you go,
because the timing wise is perfect, but also when you think about the tone, going from that to that, and you can just kind of but you get people who are ready for one, and then you just get the pause, and they're deciding whether they're into it or whether they don't want it.
I like that. I would sort of call it like the reverse drop. When people are waiting for something, they go, "Oh, there's a drop," and they go, and it just kicks into something else, and they go, "Oh, yep, actually, yeah, no,
okay.
we're good with that." Yeah, it's beautiful to sort of. The one that I can think of at the moment that I do, because they're just all at the same BPM, which I think sort of stifles you sometimes if you know that the BPMs are all together. There's Happy, Shake It Off by Taylor Swift, and then Hey Ya. And all 3 of those just were so well together.
And exactly, it's almost like they were written with the same things in mind, pretty much.
Let's keep everybody dancing on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Let's give Che a break where he doesn't have to think for 3 songs.
I know those little breaks are really important, definitely. But so, do you do digital DJing as well? Because I've just got myself a controller. You've seen my new controller.
To the dark side. You were on CDs for so long.
For so very, very long.
Shall I tell you why I've got more into using the newest technology? And I will not use it to its full degree, because I don't DJ as often as I used to. But another story I had is that I DJ'd a Christmas gig in Haydock races, right? And at that point, I still had a box of records and a bag of CDs, right? So I turned up and I DJ'd the whole night, and it was beautiful. It was really good. Everybody had a good time. as is the Che way. Trademark. But afterwards, and this is in the very I'm going to say early infancy of mobile phones, but it was when batteries didn't last a long time. Right? So I was there all night. My battery was running out on my phone, and I went, I'll just go and get a taxi. I'd never been to a race before. Right? I didn't realise that. And I didn't know where Haydock really was. I got a taxi there. Yeah, I didn't know Liverpool that well back then. I do now, right? So I went to Haydock, got there. Everybody had taxis, and sort of like, but was also if they didn't have taxis, they were already ringing taxis. So I was trying to ring a taxi, couldn't get a taxi. I thought, I've gone down the East Lancs Road in my dad's car once.
Don't do it.
It's not that far.
Oh Jesus!
It's not that far. Well, it wouldn't have been that far in a car. Also, I walked the wrong way to start with. And ended up in Ashton, which I thought, also, there's a place called Ashton near there, I thought was the Ashton near Oldham. So I thought, oh, I can't believe I walked that so fast. I'm almost home. So I can get my dad, I can go skip at my dad's. No, I couldn't, because it's not that one. Right? So then I had to walk back to Haydock, and then carried on walking with a box of records and a CD case over my shoulder, in good shoes as well, because I got told to wear good shoes.
I mean, they weren't by the time you got home.
Oh God, no! And neither were my feet. Right, so I walked all the way one way, and then back to Haydock, and then all the way the other way. Right, and I was just like going, I'll just keep walking because it can't be that long. I know I've messed up the first way, and it was a long way. And I had to count keep in my head. I had to count the lampposts just to keep myself going because I was just like, I'm going to go mad if I. And then finally, I found because I kept going. I've only got a little bit of charge on my phone, and I haven't got any numbers for a taxi. So I got to a service station that was like probably halfway between Haydock and Liverpool, and I went, I'm really sorry, but can you put
Help me.
Yeah, can you put in a phone number for a taxi? I need to get home. Taxi came. I went, I've only got a tenner. And he said, can you get me back to Liverpool? He goes, as close to Liverpool as you possibly can. I've just been walking all night. And he just drove me home. He felt so sorry.
Absolute legend.
And that is why I don't DJ vinyl anymore.
Well, I mean, it's a long-winded way of saying, as always it is with you, kind of the same thing with me, is that, technology, the ease with which every evolution comes to make things easier, and you get to a point where you'd be like, well, why am I actually punishing myself?
Yeah. Also, then there's the other balance of sort of like, do you need a DJ anymore? I'm always worried about this now. AI, the fact that people have Spotify playlists, but I still think that we add something.
We do add something, and I'm glad you brought that up because that's another reason why I wanted to bring this podcast into the world, because everyone does think that putting on a playlist for an hour at the gym or whatever is the same as DJing, and I'm here to tell you it's not.
Oh God, it's not.
Because there are a lot more considerations. For starters, we are having to think about all of the people here. I mean, even if you're doing it for a party, you generally know the people who are coming to a party.
Yeah.
And you generally have had conversations about music with these people. So you've got a good base to go from. Whereas we are, more often than not, entertaining a room full of...
Flying blind.
Yes, a room full of strangers who are coming in and out with different ideas and different emotions and different styles that they want to hear. So...
We are plate spinners. That's what we are. We're basically going around going, please let this old plate over here like the ABBA that I'm playing. Oh, we need this young plate over here. All of a sudden wants a... It's always worse when you've got like, we've brought the kids tonight, and you're like, oh, God, can you play some young stuff? Well, I'm worried about playing the stuff that might have the word fucking.
Oh, yeah. Like those ones where you're having to mentally kind of run through the songs. Like, is there any swear words in here? Is there anything I don't want them to hear? No, yeah, we're good. and then you suddenly halfway through, you remember the second verse. Like, oh, shit.
That happened. I did another story. I did when the Liverpool, Anfield, I was doing soccer fives or whatever it is, soccer sixes. I was DJing there, and the setup wasn't right. Whoever was running it, I can't remember who it was. It wasn't set up right, so the speaker sounded terrible. But it was like the family room, and I was just like panicking because they couldn't hear me, and I was like going, well, and I threw on Janet Jackson's "Son of a Gun." And I forgot that it's got at the beginning, ha ha he sexy motherfucker, and I was like, oh my God, but because it was crackly, I think I got away with it.
I mean, if you got away with it or not by looking at their faces.
I think everybody ignored it. I think the parents knew if they'd actually gone, what the hell did that woman just say that it would have drawn attention?
Maybe. I mean, I can't believe you played at Anfield, by the way. That really annoys me because you aren't even a Liverpool fan, are you?
Oh, no, I'm an Oldham fan. Then my second team, they're not.
No, you just say that to avoid hassle.
No, I'll tell you a really quick, weird story. Well, my little brother, because I came into Liverpool, he's a Liverpool fan now. So I have to be a sort of Liverpool fan. But I also support Everton as and when, because I like the city. The city is, when the city's doing well, we're doing well. Although my mate did take me to the derby this season, and I didn't jump up when Everton scored, because I was in the Everton end. And I'm an Oldham fan. I don't know how to celebrate, right? So I just sat down.
Wait, that can't have been this season.
It was.
Because Everton haven't scored this season.
Well, wait. Because what happened was, so I'm sat down next to an actual Liverpool fan, but we're all in the Everton bit because my mates, his business sponsors. And I just didn't think to jump up, right? The guy next to me goes, "You fucking red shite! I knew you were a fucking red shite, you red shite, you fucking red shite!" I went, "I'm an Oldham fan, mate." He went, "No, you're not, you're a fucking red shite." And the guy behind me, who was with us, he just went, "He is an Oldham fan." And he went, "But, wait, well, he's a red shite, though. I know he's a fucking red shite." And my mate next to me, Tom next to me, was just trying to sort of like downplay everything. As that's going on, and I was like going, I really didn't want this hassle. I wish I'd jumped up now. VAR. Goal disallowed. I so wanted to jump up at that point. Oh, God. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, so yeah, we'll allow that little football digression because, I mean, it was damn funny. But what I was getting to around the whole Anfield thing is that would have been an ultimate gig for me. What has been your favourite? Like, and it can't, well, no, it can be the setting, or it can be what happened, or it can be how the night went.
I am going to name drop like Billy O now.
All right.
So because I, like you say, I take a long way to get it anywhere. And I tried to narrow it down. And I've got top 5.
He's actually written it down.
Yeah. Because I was like, going, oh, that was good though. Right. So I did a thing called Geek Chic ages ago with Gemma and Karen. They're brilliant, and I got to meet people like Peter Serafinowicz, because they used to do stuff like an audience with. So they did Ian St John as well, and Stephen Graham, and that's on the list. But they did an 80s night, right? And before a certain BBC radio Top of the Pops presenter was outed, I dressed up with a cigar and a yellow top, and there is pictures of me. There is pictures of me. It was a great night though, because it was like we're just playing loads of 80s stuff. And then a mate of mine, Paul Duckworth, who does theatre, he came on dressed up as Thatcher and did Loverboy, sang Loverboy by Queen. I can and believe me on your heartstrings. It was that was a good one. Then also Stephen Graham. I DJed at Camp Furnace for Stephen Graham. His wife is absolutely amazing. She obviously runs everything.
Oh, yeah.
And we told him off. I think him and his mates off for dancing on the. You know when you just want to do well at a gig, and I did, and I was playing ska and stuff like that, and it was a sort of like, oh, I get to play some of this stuff, and they were all dancing at the back, and then she was like going, get down off that table. And it was this great, stupid idiot. There's number coming in at number 3.
Oh yeah.
It's this. I think I DJ'd. It was either after the Chemical Brothers or Basement Jaxx. I can't remember who it was, but what I knew is that I was supposed to be running some student night up there, and we did it downstairs. But then we were going to do an after party for that upstairs, right?
Right.
And the other guy that used to run it, he was a DJ as well, right? And he went on first. Oh, let me go on first, Jay. Let me go on first. So he was on first while all the crowd were coming down, and he stunk the room up. Absolutely stunk the room up to the point where I think somebody came over and went, "Jay, can you just go on now? Can you just go on now?" And I went on, and I just had a blinder, and just all these blokes going, "Yeah!" And it was just like, I think they were just more relieved.
Oh my God. So without wanting to obviously name names, do you remember any of the songs he was playing?
He was just playing like a student, sort of like, let's play some pop. And I was like, no. So I just went on and played too many DJs, all that kind of stuff. But anything, I was stressing because I went, they're going to hate me, and then I just played what they wanted.
So, I mean, had he been to the gig?
Yes, but he only had one gear. So that's the thing of I used to say that to DJs when they first started out. Whatever you like, that's great. But in Liverpool, everybody does techno. Everybody does techno. Oh, when I was the Ents manager at John Moore's, oh, can I come and DJ for you? Yeah, what do you play? house. And I go, well, we've already booked up on that. Can you play anything else? No. Bye. So that was the thing. It's know your audience, but also be prepared that you might have to do something a little bit out of your wheelhouse. I've done that before when I've just not had stuff, but I've cobbled stuff together. Number 2. It was having Basshunter turn around to me at Liverpool University because I was doing the warm-up for him. And Basshunter turned around and went, "Hey, everybody, give it up for Che! What a great DJ! When he knows my name!" So I've got a picture of him pointing at me as I'm DJing.
Wow.
From that perspective. But that's number 2. Number 1, and this is more of a heartfelt thing, and this guy's a Liverpool fan, and so big name drop. But I got the pleasure and the privilege to DJ Paul Sinner's wedding down in London. I had to take all my own stuff down there and stay over, and it was in the centre of London, and he's married to his fella Ollie, who's absolutely lovely as well. And sometimes when you do weddings, okay, none in the last 3 years, sometimes you just go, they'll never be together for much longer.
No one will remember this night.
But like sometimes you just go, oh, I see why you're together. And there was just so many. There was some comedians that were there that I knew. There were some people, the photographers that I knew as well. And that's how I've got my new shot for my new show, Hate, that I'm going to be doing in Edinburgh, hopefully. And there's so much stuff that happened in it. But it was so lovely to see two people you go, oh, they truly, truly love each other. Everybody, there's such a warmth in the building. And also, they gave me a Spotify playlist and just went, just do that in order. And it was a great playlist as well. It was a great playlist. There's a lot of 80s electro-y kind of... I think the Communards were obviously on there.
Obviously.
Eurasia, sorry, was there. So
I mean, probably both.
Yeah.
I love DJing at weddings, man. I really do. And I don't know if I've said this on the previous 2 shows, but I'm going to say it over the course of many of these shows. I think a lot of times some people turn their nose up at the hard idea of weddings, but like you just said, it's a place where joy is almost a given. It's like, as everyone's default setting is happiness, and
you would think that.
Well, for my
like always. I was going to say always pleasure the mother-in-law.
Wow,
but it's always make sure. So like the bride and groom are just happy that they're married at that point. It's normally the bride or the groom's mother that you've got to make sure that are happy.
But if you are in a good situation and you've had good communication with the bride and groom beforehand, they will have let you know. And if they've
Doris is a bit of a bitch.
Yeah. There's always the one who you know you're gonna have to deal with. And if you're prepared enough, then you're okay. It's all good. But I do think in general, aside from the fact that it's normally more money and you get fed.
Oh, God, yeah. Don't give away the game.
I mean, you know.
You do it for the love.
Of course. But the reality is, like I say, it's one of those places where you're more likely to have a really good moment of just everyone coming together because everyone's kind of feeling that way already. And I like to see old dudes come up to you and go, "Thank you so much for playing Hawkwind Silver." Is it Hawkwind Silver Machine? Oh yeah.
I played that once. It was. I love it when they come up and they go, "I don't know if you'll be able to play this," and you probably don't want to. And it's for me dad, and he really wanted. And I played Silver Machine. I got Silver Machine. He was almost crying. It was just a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
It was just sort of like, but it's one of those ones where it's really hard to fit in anywhere. So I had to build again. That's what we're saying. As a DJ, you've got to build up to stuff so it doesn't it's not a gear change where it's like But it was a sort of like, oh yeah, we'll play some rock, and he was like, no, he's not. He's just going to play the normal rocky stuff, and then I was like, whack that on, woo!
I love it.
And then you get a tip.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing at weddings. Sometimes you get to, like, I don't normally take tips in the bar because it's like, well, you know, that kind of implication. I don't really want to. I don't want everyone to start thinking I can be bought and sold that easily.
Also, that kind of. I know we're supposed to finish now. There's a 50. No, I really can't because the bar staff are king.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's the difference between the 50 you give me and the money I get from coming back for another time, which I probably wouldn't get if I give you this 50. Yeah, you got to make those kind of calculations.
Yeah,
but we're getting to the end. I honestly could have carried this on forever. I say that every week, and every week it's true because I'm learning shit, and I'm hoping that everyone else out there is learning shit too.
Yeah.
But we're going to end the way that we normally end. One thing I would want to say is give yourself a chance to promote DJing that you're doing, but you said you aren't really regularly DJing, so I guess you can promote the DJing that I'm doing for you.
Yes, I can, because you are a great DJ.
Thank you.
It's sort of, I wanted to do a little bit. No, I'm not going to keep bigging you up.
Oh, for fuck's sake, it's my show.
I know, but oh my God, you're the best DJ I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe that you're not sort of on stage in Ibiza playing the stuff you do in where.
Well, for starters, dickhead. Like, I was hoping you'd do it sincerely.
I am going to do it sincerely. I'm going to say it's sort of like when I first came up with the idea of doing the Black Comedy Showcase in Royal Court Theatre. The next one is July the 21st. So it's smooth.
Yeah, very smooth.
That's my mic technique for being a DJ. I hate talking on mics. The buffet's open. That's me done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sort of like I thought there was two people, you and Mina. And I'm not to diss Mina now, but like it's sort of like I was going to try and bounce to you, but I love the fact that we can have a little bit of a laugh about it, and we did the hip hop one recently,
yes.
50 years of hip hop, and it was just it's just comfortable knowing that you know what to play, and it's a mixed crowd again. It is. It's sort of like everybody's welcome, brown, white, black or beige. Come on, any age. So yes, but thank you for coming on and doing DJing at the showcase, because it makes the whole thing as well.
I do appreciate that, and I wasn't going to say this on the show, but seeing as you kind of, I don't know, baited me into it. I'm not playing Ibiza this summer, but I am playing at Glastonbury this summer.
Oh, really? I don't think I've heard you talk about that.
No, because it only got confirmed a couple of days ago.
I think I did see it. Yeah.
like I wasn't actually going to announce it, but thinking about when this will probably come out, it will probably be before Glastonbury. So if you are going to Glastonbury and you are listening to this, come to the Village Inn on the Thursday, 8:00. It's by the Pyramid Stage. Come check out your boy.
Finally, the recognition you deserve.
Oh no, right? Okay, so let's wrap this up for real. The last question is for your ultimate gig, wherever it may be, Glastonbury, Boundary Park, any of those places. Your funeral.
Boundary Park, no.
What 3 songs are you going out on?
See, right, you'd said this, like your last 3 songs, and I didn't know whether or not it was the end of a night, my best ever songs, or my funeral.
What are you going out like? So it's the end of your set. Everybody's had a great time and they're leaving. What songs are ringing in their ears?
See, I'm going to have to do quick ones again, right? End of the night to get rid of people, because I always try and make the bar staff go, oh, you actually care that we wouldn't get home on time. At the end of the night, I would normally finish with Black Hole Sun, right? Black Hole Sun, but the Postmodern Jukebox version of it with Hayley Reinhardt, because I absolutely adore that woman. Oh. And then Al Green's version of I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Oh.
Because it slows everything down. It's sort of like Black Hole Sun, everybody goes, it's jarring, and everybody goes, oh, that's not poppy. Then you get, oh, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and it's sort of like it sounds like a smile. And then Tenacious D's Fucking Gently. Because then everybody knows that you can't finish off that. Though, my ultimate ones. See, there's so many you can have.
Yeah.
So, like, the best ones would be all hip hop. So it's like, I'd Turn It Up by Ugly Duckling, because I was at that gig and I'm in the video for that gig.
Wait, what?
I mean, when they came and videoed in Casimir Gardens, when it was still the thingy.
Yeah.
They did loads of videos of when they toured. And there is a video where I'm jumping up and down, and Andy Cooper remembered me because I was wearing a Cubs t-shirt. That's the thing. Oh, you're the guy with the Cubs thing.
Who's 6'4" and not from fucking Burnley.
Also, my mate jumped stage dived in between me and my other mate, and we didn't know he was going to do it. But he jumped and he came down on his head because we took a step on either side and went, I'm not catching him. Boom, and he just jumped up and went, I'm all right. That Jump Around, Crazy in Love, or Sunrise by Childish Gambino. Those are the ones, but the funeral-y ones are the ones that I want the end of everything, that I just think are just brilliant songs. I got I have to have Fight the Power, because these are all songs that mean something, or sort of like, so yeah. So the Fight the Power, which means something, is that all right? Yeah. Fight the Power, it means something because it's part of the first show that I did up in Edinburgh, which was Elvis was racist ? And it's one of my favourite films, Do the Right Thing, and it's the start of that.
Yeah.
And it's got such an impact on my life. The Universal by Blur. because I think it's just an amazing
that's a
song.
good one.
It was either that or Tender. Because I like, as you know, I like to go on a bit. I like my songs to be long. If I put money in a jukebox, we're getting Bohemian Rhapsody, all that kind of stuff. And then anything by Nina Simone. I think I wanted Stars because it's on BoJack Horseman. But I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I think is the last song that I'd want because I just absolutely. But it's sad, but it's sort of like, oh, I can see that there's something.
The acceptance of it,
Yeah, and there might be something better.
You know, that is so typical of you.
What?
That
I did 9 instead of 3.
that was about 20.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
But you got away with it because you picked good stuff. And that, in a nutshell, is why you're here.
De La Soul. Forgot De La Soul. Say no
out
go,
loud.
and then I can have Hall & Oates in it as well. Anyway.
This conversation will possibly continue.
Paramore. The
once
new
we're
one.
finished. He's still going to be shouting out songs that he wants to finish
Fleetwood
with.
Mac. I forgot about them.
But honestly, I am glad you're here. I've been skating you all day, and probably will do once the the microphones go off. But thank you for coming, Che.
Thank you for having me. This has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
well done on Glastonbury, mate.
Thank you very much. For all of you listening out there, go and see Che. Go look on his social media and find one of the 50 million things he's doing other than DJing. But if you get a chance to see him DJ, do that too, because he's actually very good, despite what he says.